The moment that you can see on the screen and that the conversation that you could hear was addressing happened on Saturday night after a 4th and short at the goal line. It was a touchdown. There was an offensive offside. Get used to that. Offensive offside is the new thing this year. And they had to kick a field goal instead. Touchdown would have made the game 28-14 with a successful 1-point PAT. And it just seemed odd that Payton was giving it to Russ because Russ didn't do anything wrong on that play. And there was speculation the prior play might have been a touchdown. Was Payton trying to get the red flag in? Whatever it was, though, Myles, I interpreted that interaction, if we can show it, I interpret it as Payton letting loose on Russ because of something he has told him 20 freaking times. We've been over this time and time again. How many times do I have to tell you this is what we need to do? The fact that it's directed at him, there's some, like, how many, I've freaking told you. Like, that's how I interpret that body language. And I can't even begin to read the lips. But it's, we've been over this. I've told you this 100 freaking times. We can't do this. This is what we have to do. Whatever it is, I think that's what it was. So that's what makes me think there's something deeper here than just frustration in the moment. There's something that Russ has failed to do that Payton wanted him to do, or something he is doing that Payton wants him to not do, and they've been over it and over it and over it, and it's the middle of December and you're still doing it. That's how I interpreted it, and if that's the case, it does make me wonder where things stand between the two guys going forward.
Yeah, Mike, I mean, coming into this season, I kind of thought that we'd get to a point in December where it would become obvious that Jarrett Stidham would be an option at quarterback over Russell Wilson. And the fact that we have not reached that point yet, I think speaks to the coaching job that Sean Payton has done with Russell Wilson after the disaster that was the 2022 season. But I was really kind of, I don't know, that interaction was just so bizarre to me because it was kind of like, well, what could he be that mad about? Is it that Russell Wilson didn't make a proper check at the line of scrimmage so that there would have been no question of whether or not the running back got into the end zone on the run or something that just was not right? I mean, it's hard for me to think that Sean Payton's that mad about Russell Wilson doing something that could have prevented an offensive offside. I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's not really Russell Wilson's responsibility when the dude lines up in the neutral zone. That whole thing was very odd to me, but I do think you're right.
That's why I think it was something more than that.
Yes. Yeah.
Something more than that.
It probably speaks to something deeper because what's really going on there? And we don't know what happens inside that building every single day. But yeah, I think that there is that element of how many times do I have to tell you when we do X, you need to do Y, or when X happens, this is the way you should react, or you need to make this check. How is this something that we're still doing when it's week 15 and you've been my quarterback all season long? What are we doing here? So yeah, I don't know where this goes between Sean Payton, Russell Wilson, and the Broncos, but I went into this season thinking that this would be Russell Wilson's last year there. And while things have been better for Russell Wilson, no doubt, that kind of interaction kind of makes me go back to the way I was thinking at the beginning of the season, where these 3 weeks are going to be very, very big for Russell Wilson when it comes to his future with Denver.
There would be a significant cap consequence to moving on from Russell Wilson after this year. They could cut him after June 1 or do the post-June 1 designation. I don't know that anyone's going to trade for the contract. The bottom line is this, though. In March, another $37 million becomes fully guaranteed for 2025. So they're going to have a Band-Aid to rip off at some point. And if it comes down to Sean Payton simply believing this isn't the answer long-term for me, then so be it. Early in the year, it looked like a no-brainer. There would be a divorce. Then it got better. The moment from Saturday night, given the circumstances and the context, it just makes me think there's something deeper, and it all came out in that moment. So we'll see how that plays out. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.